Hey, how's it going? So today I thought I would be doing a video on this. This is the laminar boomerang. But before the stabilizers arrived, something else came in the mail. And that is the KBDFans Agar. Those in the hobby long enough will eventually dabble in a different type of keyboard altogether, and this is called electrocapacitive. So instead of MX switches that involve hitting plastic on plastic, the Topre switch involves hitting a plastic dome. So you can barely hear anything at all. And that characteristic noise is actually where the term Thocky comes from. The best way of describing typing on a Topre keyboard is like if you had a silent MX tactile switch, but you only had one bump and that bump was pillowy. Now the problem with Topre keyboards in the past in the custom keyboard world was that they weren't very custom. So because of their specialized construction, it's actually very expensive to do custom Topre parts. So let's just say you wanted the Topre typing feel, but you didn't like the way that the HHKB looked. Just like how for MX keyboards you want a certain design for the keyboard, HHKB, that was really difficult to do. And in the cases where it was possible, it was extremely expensive. And it just wasn't very mix and match in the same way that MX is. So if you wanted, for example, an HHKB custom, you would have to buy the HHKB keyboard just to harvest the PCB. There were no available options. Now to illustrate the point, look at all of the things that you need to buy just to build a custom EC keyboard. It's a lot more expensive than an MX one, but in the last few months there have been a couple of really exciting developments. Designers like Show and Norbauer have shown that there is a demand for these custom EC designs. Cipulot, an Italian PCB designer, has been designing EC PCBs, so you don't have to go out and buy the HHKB keyboard just to harvest its PCB. And finally, companies like AEBoards have developed a new type of EC switch, one that includes an MX stem, so that you can use your MX keycaps for these EC boards. Now together, all of this has allowed these big companies to finally put together what they think an approachable EC board might look like. And that's what we're talking about today. That is the KBDFans Agar. The Agar was $160 with build service. Are you kidding me? The show cost me $350. For the switches, the Agar uses the AEBoards 45-gram EC switches. These have MX stems, so it means that I can put PBTFans Atomic Purple on it, and it works just fine. If I had to describe the typing feel of these 45-gram switches, it's wonderful. They're light, they're responsive, but they still have that pillowy feel to them without any gumminess. To me, this is the perfect office keyboard. I feel like they even went above and beyond for this build service. Look, they are using the HHKB stabilizers. They even added these custom foam cushions so that they reduce rattle. In my opinion, I can still hear some rattle, especially on the spacebar, but it's nothing egregious and it's probably similar to what I would have done. Finally, is this PCB. This PCB is great. First, it has a magnetic connection, so if I ever wanted to rebuild it, it would be simple as pie. This PCB also supports vial, which is very, very important on an HHKB keyboard, because if you're coming from, for example, a normal layout, you'll have some trouble adjusting. Having vial compatibility means that you can swap the keys to whatever you like, so you can make it more comfortable for yourself. Also, this PCB has underglow. Are you kidding me? So this is a PC keyboard, it has underglow and vial, so all of this is customizable, and what a great deal. Honestly guys, I am blown away. If you ever wanted to play with EC, the Agar is not only one of the most accessible ways to get in, but it's also one of the best. So I'm very happy. I hope you guys pick one up. Here's an extended sound test and comparisons with the Show 60 V2.